If you're using Canva Free and sometimes feel like it takes too much effort to get things done, I've got you. Today I'm sharing 6 tips that will make your Canva Free experience much easier. Some of these are small tweaks, but they make a huge difference. I'm Natalia and I help you create better content and grow on social media, so let's do this. Searching for free templates in the Canva editor can be a pain if you don't have Pro. One of the simplest ways to make Canva Free easier is to search for templates from the Templates tab on the homepage rather than inside the Designs tab. It's because the homepage search gives you way more filters. It actually shows you more templates at once, and you can narrow things down much quicker. Normally, the way people search for templates is just to choose a size of a design and then jump to Design tab in here and then start scrolling, usually for hours. Of course, you can use words to describe what you want to find, but you're very limited by what you can filter through. To search for the templates in a better way, simply go to the templates from the homepage, and from here, what you'll see is this kind of big thing where you can just start exploring and browsing this way. You'll be able to spot a lot more stuff. However, you can just search for something. So I can go for, say, photography. And from here, the best part is that you can go to filters. And as you can see, there are so many different filters. Say I want to find an Instagram post in a portrait ratio. So I'm just going to search for it. You also have the new size for Instagram, which is the 3:4 ratio. And you can search for that in here as well. Apart from that, you can design in a specific style. So you've got modern, minimalist. There are so many different keywords that you can use in here. You can see that they're really endless. So they give you a lot more criteria just to check what you want exactly. You've got different themes, you've got different languages and features and subjects and topics, and you can specify the color in here as well. I'm just going to apply these few just so you can see how much it gives you. And you can see that I've got so many different photography styles, and you can notice that it's easier to make out how many of the free ones you can use like this. So I find this specific view to be much more efficient in terms of finding my favorites. But what about elements and graphics and anything in the Canva library? After all, you can really filter through free elements when you don't have Pro. Well, this one is a real time saver. When you find a creator whose work you love, follow them and start your favorites from their library. And when you see a template or an element that you want to reuse, add it to your start folder too. Not only will you have easy access to your favorites very quickly, and you'll get to your favorite creators quickly too, you'll also build your own mini library of free elements that you love. I actually mentioned this in my video about Canva Free features, so if you haven't watched that yet, I'll link it here for you too. Now, of course, I wouldn't be myself if I didn't add an extra trick on top. If you come across an element that you love, right-click and check if there's a view collection option. Usually there's a whole set of similar free elements from the same creator or even the same photo shoot, and that's priceless for keeping your designs visually consistent, but also if one photo or an element in the collection was free, chances are the whole thing will be free too, so you're literally discovering multiple free assets instead of just the one. To add a template to your favorites, all you have to do is to click on this start right here, and I'll show you in just a moment how to access your start folder from the designing panel from the editor. Now, apart from that, what you can do is to just jump into that specific template, and then you see the creator of it, so you can just check out their page, and just like this, you see what they offer. If you vibe with what they've got to offer, then by all means go ahead and follow them. And this from here will be retained under templates in the little creators tab in here. So from here, you'll be able to see Nasi art. I think that's how you pronounce it. And you'll see her templates specifically. Of course, you can see that she's got loads of pro templates, but there are definitely creators out there who create tons of different free templates. And this is the kind of the tip to try to find the ones that are actually having the offer a little bit broader for free templates. So you can see that from here, Canva suggests you different creators that you might love in terms of the style. And of course, the more you design or the more templates that you choose yourself, you'll be able to access those a lot more. You can see that from here, we have a lot more free templates. So for example, Alexandra, we could give her a follow, and that's how you build this kind of database of creators. Same goes for the elements that you find when you're within the editor. All you have to do is just to click on that element, right click, and go down to info. Now from here, you'll see that you can actually star this element. So this is how you add it to your favorites. And apart from that, what you can do is to go to info and view more from that particular creator. So this is Ben Bloom, one of my kind of favorite kind of sketchy creators, not sketchy creators that create sketches. But this is the one that I love. And you can see that this was a free element. And now in the Elements tab under Band Bloom, you see so many other assets that are very, very similar, and you can just choose from those. And this is why I'm saying about the creators that are creating free elements. It's really great to add a few of those to your mini library that you're creating. To find these start elements, all you have to do is to jump into your project, and apart from your regular folders, you'll find this start folder right in here. And you can see that I've not added too many elements in this free account. However, you see this template in here, and you see this graphic that I've added, and it's so easy to just jump and find the creator from here as well. So Sketchify is another creator or an aggregate that I love to use, and they have tons of free assets. So this is how easy it is to just jump in here and find your favorite ones. And of course, you can still search for the different elements. So if I'm looking for something like a plant, you can see that I have so many options in here already. And again, these are free. To find a collection, all you have to do is to just find an image that you like and then right click and go to info again. This is going to be your best friend in terms of finding these little amazing assets. And you can see down below in here, view collection. You see this whole collection appear. And as you can see, none of the photos in here have the crown for pro. So that means all of these are free. And if you're creating something like this kind of little collage style photo, all you have to do is just to drag this into your template, and already you're creating that cohesive image. It's absolutely amazing. Now, not every single image will be a part of the collection. So if we go down to info again in here, you can see that this is not a part of the collection. However, you can still go to that particular creator and find it. Now, a little tip for you as well, as you can see in here, that you can view more by Elena in this case from Corelens, and Corelens is actually the aggregate of different images, but from this view, if you click on it, you'll only be taken to Corelens. The way I like to do it actually is to search for this specific keyword and then go to info and go to view more by Elena, and to find it within Corelens, I'll go to hand with jewelry, and you can see that this might actually be that person. And now from here, so from the elements tab, from the actual library, you will be able to select not just Corelens but also Elena separately. So you can see that I jumped into here, and these are all incredible photos created by this particular photographer. Again, not only are they cohesive, look at this, like so many of these are free and they're really amazing assets. So all I have to do at this point is to jump in and start. The resize button is one of those Canva Pro features people wish were free, but there are actually 2 quick workarounds to do it without paying. You seem to love the short. I've shared about it some time ago, so I'll include it here too. And with method number 1, you simply select all the elements in your design, copy and paste them into a new design with the right size. Let's say this is the one that I want to change, so I'll just go in here and customize this template. Okay, I have this template right here, and I've added a little gradient just because I want to show you what happens with this first method. Now, all you need to do with the first one is to just select everything that you see on screen. Make sure that none of the other elements are locked, because that's not going to select it. So if I had a lock in here, you can see that this wouldn't select it. So just make sure to hover over everything, unlock all you can see, and then I'm just going to again select everything, hit Control-C just to copy it. And now I'm going to, just for the sake of brevity, open another page in the destination dimensions that I want. So this is going to be my Instagram post in 4:5 ratio. So once you click on it, you can see that these are different sizes. Now from here, all I have to do is to go and paste. But as you can see, what happens is that it doesn't copy over the background. I'll show you what you can do with it in just a second. What I like to do at this stage is to center everything and then just kind of stretch it out without clicking elsewhere. I overdid it in terms of making things bigger, so I'm just going to make things a little bit smaller. Granted, as I've mentioned, you do have to reposition certain things and just make things work for this particular design. However, this is how it works with this first method. Now, what to do to retain this little gradient that I've added in here just to show you this. Now, what you need to do is to go and detach the image from the background. So I just selected the background, right-clicked, and then hit detach image from background. I'll copy, and then I'll paste it in here. You can see that's on top. I'll go replace background just like this. And now you can see that it didn't retain the transparency. So I'll need to just lower the transparency ever so slightly, just so that it matches the previous one. I'll just go and replace the background in here. And of course, I need to go back to the kind of 50. And we went from this to this very simply. It doesn't really involve much work on your behalf. I prefer the second method though. All you have to do is to open your Projects tab inside the editor, then find the design you want to resize, and then choose Apply Design to Page. That way you can actually quickly adapt the whole design into a new format with just a few tweaks. It's maybe not as seamless as the Pro Resize button, but it actually works, and I love how easy it makes things. Even though I've been a Pro user for years, I actually use the same second method much more because I'm in the Projects tab all the time anyways. Now with the second method, we'll use the same design. So I'll go to social media in here and I'll add another Instagram post in 425. And now if you go to our projects in here, this is the second method, all you need to do is to click on your design that you find. Now, of course, you can search your content, you can go to a specific folder when that particular design is used. Of course, I've just literally used it, so it's going to be at the very top. And all I need to do is to click on it. And from here, you can see that it actually not only applied all the elements, but it actually did retain the background. And I found that with this second method, the positioning of the elements is usually a little bit better. So I don't have much to tweak in that regard. But of course, if you do want to, you can do so from here and just kind of move things around ever so slightly just so that it matches the vibe that you're looking for. Now, a big part of what makes Canva great is how easy it is to manage your brand with it. But if you don't have Canva Pro's brand kit, this is the next best thing. Create a brand guidelines whiteboard where you keep all your fonts, all your colors and logos and different design styles and photos and things like that. It allows you to just copy things over whenever you need them. And because it's a whiteboard, it's indefinitely expandable, meaning they can just keep your most important assets there easily and view them at a glance when designing. By the way, if you do want to try the actual brand kit and how much easier life is with it, apart from hundreds of useful features and templates and elements, you can actually try Canva Pro for $0, no strings attached, using my link in the description box. My favorite way to do this is, of course, to use a whiteboard, as I've mentioned. However, I've already created one, so I'm just going to open this up. And as you can see, again, I can zoom out and zoom in on this whole thing. I have my color palette in here, so I can quickly just color pick the colors from this whiteboard. I also have the different sizes and different fonts in here, so this is already kind of pre-planned for this particular brand. Apart from that, I have a few different graphics in here that I've chosen, and I have the brand imagery in here as well, which is super easy. Now, the second page in here is a Canva template that I found, and this is how you would work with it. So you basically just grab the stuff from here. So let's say I want to use this particular photo, I can just paste it over and then pop it into this particular design like this. So I can just keep doing this for different images. Of course, you can have tons and tons of different ones. You could have this like central kind of place for your brand, for the core images in here. But of course, you could go in here and add more assets like this and just keep gathering them. So it's super easy to access them. But of course, this also belongs to your projects and your folders. So for anything more detailed, I would keep it in here, but keep that core brand in your whiteboard like this. So all you need to do is to just select the things that you like. So I'm just going to go and copy these over and just paste them like this. And you can just start popping them into different images just like that. Let's say, obviously, they're all kind of filled. So I could do this. Let's say I don't want that little kind of palette that's in here. So I could just remove it completely. And now what I like to do is to just go and kind of add these little beautiful touches from my personal brand in here. Now, what I love to do in here as well is to just go and grab the text just like this. So I can just push it to the new page like that. What I love to do is to actually go to copy style. So I could go to Rafina in here. This is the font that I've chosen for this one. And now, of course, it's much, much bigger than we need. So you can go to details. I'll capitalize this one. And from here, I'll just make it ever so slightly smaller, just like this, and just position it. So that's how easy you can kind of use your brand without using the brand kit. So this is a super cool way to do this. I can just go and click on this one like this, and of course, just tweak it to match the vibe of the original design. And of course, the colors as well. So I would just bring the colors over in here just to copy them, and I can very quickly just grab the details like this and just, push this one like that. I can just change this dark gray to this one again and keep doing this for the other stuff. Of course, the background in here is quite important as well. And I can just change it to this color like this. And you can see that's already changed from the original. Of course, you would have to fill it with the other photos. But this is how easy it is to design with the brand guidelines opened right next to you. This one makes applying colors so much easier. You don't have to rely on your color palette in the brand kit. There's an alternative to it. I'm going to start a new design, and this time I want a square. So the easiest way is to just jump into an Instagram post. So I'm just going to use this one. However, of course, I'm not posting anything to Instagram. I just need a square, and this is a very quick way to get it. Now, all I want to do next is to go to elements, and just to make things easier for myself, I'll go for grids. Now, if I scroll down in here, you can see so many different combinations. I need 5 different colors, so this might be quite a good thing. And with all the grids, you can actually adjust grid spacing. I don't want any spaces in between because I don't want Canva to accidentally pull a color from my background. Now, what I'm going to do is, of course, to use the same method. So I had my photography stuff in here in terms of this whiteboard. So I'm just going to bring the colors over to this design. And now I want to just pull these colors from here. So you can see that I have all the different 5 ones that I've had in the original brand guidelines, and I just added them like this. Now, another thing that I really love to do is to just add the hex codes in here. So what you can do in here is to just add a little bit of text, and of course, just pull the hex codes from the color tab. So this is what I would do. I would just paste all the hex codes like this for each of the ones. I'm just going to quickly do it for the other colors. Now I have all the hex codes connected in here, but I just want to make sure that I'm using the light ones just so I see it, but I'm still pulling from the same color palette. So I'm just making sure that all of these have the kind of the dark and the light from this specific color palette, just to not confuse Canva again. Now what I'm going to do is to, of course, name it and then save it. I'll go to share, download, and then download as a PNG. Now all I have to do is to re-upload this downloaded file into Canva. So I'm just going to drag it from the desktop and then upload it like this. You can see that's uploading. Of course, I will retain this original image just in case. However, this is where it sits in my uploads. And of course, I can then save it to the projects under brand assets as well. I have this little folder in here. You can then, for the ease of access, also add it to your whiteboard like this, so that not only you have these colors, but you also have this ready palette just to shuffle. Let's say this is a template that I want to adapt to my colors. All I have to do is to jump to uploads, and again, from my whiteboard or from the projects, I can just add that file on top. And now the way it works is that all you have to do is to right click, and then from here you see apply colors to page. Now all it does is that it applies the colors like this, and of course you can just click on it again and again just to shuffle it a little bit, just to get the effect that you like. I actually like this style, so this is how easy it is to do. And of course, you would then change the fonts and change everything else according to your whiteboard. And if you want to see exactly how to organize your Canva like a pro, I actually have a whole video on that, which you'll see right here. It goes more in depth into how to sort your projects tab, how to structure your uploaded stuff and design more efficiently, so it's well worth a watch, whether you're a beginner or an advanced user. This tip will give you an alternative to using brand templates. All you have to do is to mark your go-to designs as master copy in the title, and then every time you want to use them, duplicate the file first. Even better, you can save them all in a folder called brand templates, so they're easy to find. Alternatively, you could use one design for one type of a template, keeping the original as the first page and then iterating on it by making copies of this page each time you want to create a new design from it. This is what I've been doing for my Reels covers, since it's usually a 5-minute design thing for me, and I find that having separate designs for each cover would really make my account too bulky, even with the good folder structure that I have and the general organization. But of course, this method works best for single image graphics, but if you want to do it for multi-page designs like Instagram carousels, by all means do it. Just remember that it's a little harder to figure out when one design ends and another begins. It's easy to do even from the homepage. All I have to do is to just jump and click on a name of a specific template that I want to mark as the original. So I'll just paste master template in here. You can of course type it, and this way you have this indication that every time you see master template that you should never change the original. All you can do from here then, if you want to use it, is to then just click the copy, and that's how you start a new design. So you can see that it retains the original, but it copies it in here, and you can then jump into it and change it. Now, same goes for your project tab. You can actually change the names of any of the ones that you see in here like this as well. So you can just do master template like this, or if you finish designing from the editor, it just works the same way. Now, another tip that I've got for you is to make sure that you move it. Maybe you can move it to your brand templates folder, and this way everything's neatly organized, so you can add a few of those just to your brand templates. And that's how you know that you can quickly pull them from the project. So from here, you have the brand template folder, and that's how you can just start every design. So you can just go and make a copy and then move it to a specific folder that's not designated for brand templates. So this is one way of trying to kind of emulate this brand templates pro feature. Honestly, these little habits can save you so much frustration and make designing smoother even without Pro. Let me know which one is your favorite in the comments down below. And if you want more Canva free tips, check out my other videos in the series. I'll link them right here for you. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss even more juicy videos on content creation and Canva. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.